Over the last few months, the crypto market has been pretty stagnant. We've seen Bitcoin hover between $28,000 per coin and $32,000 per coin. And the big question everyone is asking me on YouTube, Twitter, and just my friends in general, they're saying, when are we going to see the next breakout? And is it going to be bullish or is it going to be bearish? So today's video, I want to break down important things going on with Bitcoin, the overall crypto market, Cardano, and Polygon, because there are a few major announcements that have come out that you need to be aware of as a crypto investor. What we're seeing, though, with the overall market is that not much has changed. Bitcoin is still hovering just under $30,000 per coin. Ethereum is just under $1,900 per coin. And there hasn't been many changes in terms of the top 10 cryptos by market cap. We did see Cardano and Dogecoin flip a few times. Cardano was number 7, then Dogecoin was number 7. So that has changed a little bit. But other than that, much of the same, even in terms of Bitcoin dominance. But the last few weeks, there's been a key change. What we have seen is that last week was the first time in 5 weeks that we saw digital asset investment products have outflows, which isn't great because the last 4 weeks before that, they were all major inflows of over $100 million, as you can see right here. So this was the first time in over a month that we saw outflows. My reasoning, my thoughts, why this happened is because those 4 weeks where we saw massive inflows, there was a lot of excitement around spot Bitcoin ETFs. Potentially BlackRock getting approval, Fidelity, with their spot Bitcoin ETF. But last week, there wasn't any major catalyst or news that came out regarding a spot Bitcoin ETF. So we saw major institutions probably taper back their investments into digital asset investment products. That is what I believe. But either way, it's not great seeing outflows at any time from digital asset investment products. It's just not a great sign if you're talking about institutions getting involved. We like to see continuous adoption, continually seeing more and more inflows and more money coming into the space. It's not the end of the world. It's just something to keep in mind. I would say we could see a major positive catalyst change all of this around, because what we're seeing with Bitcoin in particular is Bitcoin has traded in between this range, like I talked about, between $28,000 and $32,000 per coin for a few weeks now. This has been a key level of both support and resistance for the crypto market over the last few years. And right now we are trading at the lower end of this range. So if we were to see some sort of positive catalyst, that's what we need right now, because we do not want to see Bitcoin break below this orange line. We don't want to see it break below 28,500 on the weekly charts, because that would likely signal a bit of a downtrend and see us fall further to around 25,000. So in the short term, we need to see a positive catalyst like some news for an ETF or something else in order for us to continue our trading sideways in this range, if not potentially help us break out. But right now we're on the lower end of this range, which isn't great. In addition to this, I want to talk about what's been going on with some of my trading, because while Bitcoin hasn't looked too great as of recently, I've made a bit of money using artificial intelligence trading tools, and I don't use these much, but when I do, I like to share them with you. So what we see is that with an AI trading tool I tested out recently, it's called RaiseX, and I integrated it into TradingView, and I'll show you some trades that I made with it. I was able to generate 81% profit in a single day, as you can see with this trading pair right here, KNC, which is a pretty big deal. And when I did a bit of research into the platform and the tool, RaiseX's AI tool has a proven 87% win rate, which has been proven over time. This is something they have consistently done. And the interesting thing about this project and this trading tool is that it's a private community of traders that was established back in 2012 by ex-Fidelity workers. And these workers had once managed a $300 million portfolio. So this is something that is not just a random group of people made this artificial intelligence trading tool. This was by Fidelity ex-workers who had hundreds of millions of dollars in their portfolio that they manage. So something that's pretty cool. This AI bot, when I did a bit of research and I started playing around with it and using it, it actually gives recommendations about when to enter, when to close, and it has been able to historically call exact tops and exact bottoms. Not always, but it has done it pretty accurately, as you can see on this chart. It analyzes like 200 different cryptos every single hour, and it's something that has made me money in the last few weeks, so I wanted to share it with you. If you're interested in like like technical analysis or you are a crypto trader in general. I know a lot of you guys are. So we've all seen artificial intelligence get into tech companies taking over the trading space, and this just proves it even more. So if you're interested, I'll throw a link in the description. Also, their founder, I did a bit of research on him because I wanted to see who was behind this. His name's David. He has a YouTube channel, and he just posted a video about the strategy with the best strike rate in 2023. So worth checking out if you have some time and you're interested in trading with artificial intelligence. Now let's talk about what's been going on with two specific indicators for Bitcoin. What we saw with Bitcoin recently is that Bitcoin, like I said, is in a bit of a tight position because it's trading at the bottom range of this range it's been at for the last few months now. It's between 28,000 and 32,000. And things are on the bearish side because what we just saw in addition to outflows is that there was 10,000 Bitcoin that just came onto exchanges in a single day. And this was the largest inflows we saw in a single day since the Silicon Valley Bank collapse. Why this isn't great is because when typically Bitcoin moves onto exchanges, it means people want to sell. When Bitcoin moves off of exchanges, it means people want to buy. Means people are planning to hold it long term. They have no plans of selling it. So Bitcoin coming back onto exchanges in the last 24 to 48 hours is not ideal. So something we need to keep in mind because we are on that crucial level of support and we don't want to see a weekly close below it. When we're looking at the other major indicator with Bitcoin, and the thing that happened is that RFK Jr. recently confirmed recent Bitcoin purchases. So this was a positive catalyst, but it wasn't enough to make a move in the market. I think what we really need to see at this point is some news come out with a Bitcoin spot Bitcoin ETF. But this is something good and something that we do need to point out because Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Reported earlier in the week that right after the Bitcoin conference in 2023, in May of 2023, he purchased 2 Bitcoin for each of his 7 children. So a total of 14 Bitcoin, right around $400,000. He purchased them when Bitcoin was around $27,000 per coin. Now he's made a bit of a profit on it as Bitcoin's trading higher. But the key thing here is that he is a presidential candidate and he is talking about Bitcoin. He's talking about owning Bitcoin. And whenever we see this happen, it's going to attract more eyeballs into the space. It's going to help with mass adoption. It's going to help get more people interested. So whether you like his policies, you don't like his policies, doesn't matter. I'm strictly talking about presidential candidates owning Bitcoin and being outward and outspoken about it. So that is something that is bullish regardless. But what I do think we need in the crypto space is a Bitcoin spot ETF approval. I think that is the exact catalyst we need to push Bitcoin higher and really break out of the range we have seen it trading in as of recently. Now let's talk about what's been going on with Cardano. So major name in the crypto space, Benjamin Cowen, issued a Cardano warning, and he's saying that Cardano is repeating the hard times we saw in 2019, and he thinks we are going to go even lower. He compared the charts and pointed out similarities. He said, if you look at these charts right here, you can see that in 2019, Bitcoin put in a low at the beginning of the year, rallied a bit, sort of had a double top, and then fell back down even further before continuing higher. And he says that's what he believes is going to happen again. We put in a low earlier in the year. Then we started to see a bit of a rally with a double top. Then we saw it drop further, but he thinks we are going to see it drop even further before we see prices rally. One thing I want to point out here is that while technical analysis is useful in some scenarios and is good to look at, it's not the whole picture. Because if you're looking at Cardano in particular, there's been a lot of excitement in terms of major partnerships. There's been an increase in TVL as more projects are building on the network. And one thing I do want to just say is that technical analysis is useful, but it's also important to look at what's going on with the overall market and what's going on with news, because that has major impacts as well. So I wouldn't be saying, oh, go ahead and sell your Cardano, go ahead and sell your crypto. I'd say, short term, maybe there's a potential downside just because of overall market issues and because of things with TA. But long term, things are looking much, much better nearly every single month. Last thing I do want to go over is what's with Polygon, because Polygon 2.0 was announced in June of this year, and there's been a lot of excitement about it. We haven't talked too much about it on the channel, but recently in an interview, Polygon Matic founder came out and he predicts the future of Ethereum ecosystem. He says that the catalyst for the next 1 billion new users into the crypto space is going to be a large part because of Polygon 2.0. He says that he believes Polygon 2.0 is the end game for any infrastructure provider in the crypto space. He says whether Polygon implements it or someone else implements it, this structure that Polygon 2.0 has looks to be an infrastructure architecture which can resolve the infrastructure error of blockchain, not only for Polygon. So he ultimately says that what they're doing with Polygon right now, he believes could help scale the entire Web3 space to 200 million users or even 1 billion users over the next few years. And you guys know Polygon Matic is a project I am extremely bullish on. I have been invested in it for years now. So this is something that's exciting to see more people, more news coming out about it, specifically when we're talking about Polygon 2.0, because I haven't seen enough attention and enough news come out about it. So that's just what's going on with the overall market, things going on with Bitcoin, Cardano, and Polygon, and things that I think you need to be aware of if you're an investor.